How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to some more Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. In today's video, we have another visit to the Temple of the Ocean King, which, depending on who you are, this is either going to be very unfortunate, because you probably don't like the Temple of the Ocean King, or you'll be very excited, because you like the Temple of the Ocean King. Personally, I'm really enjoying the Temple of the Ocean King, this replay of the game so far, so it is going to be a fun time, because I enjoyed this visit. We're going to encounter some new variations of enemies this video, and we really got to start thinking about how we make our way through the Temple of the Ocean King, because there are some small differences. Some little shortcuts we can make to get through, but nothing, unfortunately, too exciting. You do want to stop first at this island up here, because we're going to figure out how we can have a chance against the main villain of the game, Bellum, and his evil phantom minions. So we'll head on over to this island, and we're going to meet up with a friend who, I don't know if we can call him a friend, but we did encounter him a few videos ago, so perhaps he'll remember us, perhaps not. Either way, we gotta stop here, because we need to know what we're doing. And I think that's all I really have to say on what's going to be happening for the most part this video. You really don't need the extra sands of time that we've gotten from the ocean, at least so far. If you are really struggling with the Temple of the Ocean King, though, I would recommend getting them, just because it's going to make things a bit easier to go through. But other than that, we do have the ability to get some small shortcuts now, the Temple of the Ocean King, so it's not too bad. You just, take your time. I feel that they give you more time than is necessary, but it really just all depends on your playstyle, I suppose, and whatnot. Like, there's some people that can complete the Temple of the Ocean King with, like, the whole 25 minutes remaining, and there's some people that'll probably take, like, forever to get through it, so you just do whatever fits your playstyle. You don't need to rush, you just need to plan out your strategy. And I think this guy looks like Ganondorf. I think I might have said this in the other video, but he really looks like Ganondorf, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, if it's supposed to be some sort of relative of his. I'm not exactly sure who Ganondorf would have gotten freaky with, but out of either way, looks like Ganondorf, but it's not Ganondorf, because this dude's gonna help us. So, I don't know what's up with that, but either way, he's going to offer to help us make the Phantom Sword, because he no longer has it. Who knows where exactly the original sword went. Perhaps he dropped it at the bottom of the ocean, which would be very unfortunate. I also don't know how he would have gotten the materials to make the first one. Unless he just went around all over. Because it seems like the materials to make the Phantom Sword are kind of scarce, so I don't exactly know how he went about doing this stuff, but, if there's a will, there's a way. So we did it somehow. And they got some fancy names there. So we do have to go find these 3 materials in dungeons. And I think so far I've only completed one of these next 3 dungeons. But I am greatly enjoying, what I've played so far. So when I originally played this game, I think I might have done the first 2 temples, maybe the first 3 temples by myself, without use of, any cheating or whatnot. I did go to GameStop then. I think I was around 9 years old, 8 or 9, maybe 10. And I got myself, make sure you, take note of this, how the Triforce is drawn. I did get, I think it was an action replay or something, whatever it's called. It was for the DS and DSi, I believe. And there was some cheats for this game. Now, the first one kind of just broke, right off the bat. The second one did last a while, and so I was able to get some cool cheats going with this game. But unfortunately, it also just broke. But I was able to complete the game, I turned on, a super speed boat, turned on moon jumping, and that was how I completed the, final 3 dungeons in the game and then I skipped a lot of the Temple of the Ocean King. Okay, because the main reason that I got that cheating device is because I was struggling so much with the Temple of the Ocean King. It was a little horrendous, but you know, ever since then, I've been hoping for a day that I can play this game through casually, just go through, actually play it how it's meant to be played for once. I mean, I kind of did the same thing on one of my Twilight Princess save files, but the thing is with this one, I couldn't figure out. So I beat the Forest Temple, but then I got the bird angry at me, and I was out of the lantern oil, and I couldn't figure out how to get through the fog. So I just ended up creating a new save file and then not cheating the bird. So I do have some experience with using the cheat stuff and whatnot. I am just glad to be finally playing this, you know, the way it's meant to be played. So here we are back at Merkay Island, and we're getting a lot of letters lately. One of the next videos that I have to film is going to be probably sometime at night, and the reason I'm going to be doing that is just so that I can get some of the items that you get from the Nighttime Beetle Shop. And this is another letter that we get from Lineback, well, the first letter, but I feel it's like one of the moments, like, kind of how I was saying last episode, where Lineback's kind of starting to get some empathy going, I guess you could say. Really kind of feeling towards Link, like, respecting him a bit more, I suppose. So it is cool to see kind of how Lineback grows from being this really selfish person who's only after treasure to, I guess, kind of getting a backbone, if you want to call it that, and just really putting others first. So we're just gonna have to see how that continues to improve. If it does improve, this is a new shop here where you can sell your treasures, you can sell your ship parts if you have extras, or if you just want to sell your ship parts, you can go for it. I don't know why you'd want to do that if you only have one of them, but if you want to, go ahead and go for it. But the main reason for doing this is to get a crap ton or more rupees. This is probably the best way in the game to get rupees. Now, there are so many games that actually do provide you with some decent amount of rupees, but for the most part, I would recommend just selling treasures that you get and extra ship parts, because we've gotten a lot of those so far. I think currently the object that'll sell the most is the either the Zora scale or the crown there. Because everything else is kind of iffy, although there's a ring we get later on. That one's worth quite a bit of rupees, but I think by that point we're going to be kind of good on everything. So not really going to be a reason late game to be selling the rupees, especially once we get to a point where we've kind of bought everything out and whatnot. I don't remember if there's a reason that we need to get all the beetle, like the discount thingies that he gives you. I'm pretty sure it's required for 100%, so I'm going to be doing it, but in terms of like getting a heart container or anything, I don't think we need them. Maybe we do. Don't take my word on that. And here we have Bellum causing earthquakes again, which I think this is the first time we really noticed it. I don't remember if we noticed the first one or not. Link might have been asleep for that. I can't remember. But either way, we have to make our way back here to Temple of the Ocean King. And like I said, there's kind of some skips we can do that'll make going through the first couple floors a little bit faster. I don't know how much faster this ends up being overall, like once we get all the dungeon items. And here we encounter a red phantom. I think they're called swift phantoms, maybe. They're faster than normal phantoms. But aside from that, excuse me, there's not really any reason that you need to be worried about them. They may look super frightening. They may look worse than normal phantoms, but trust me, they're not that bad to deal with. They're just a little bit faster, so you just need to kind of plan your routes a little bit better if you're worried about getting caught. Otherwise, you know how to deal with them, so you're good. Trust me. I think I do end up getting whacked though in a part in this video. I can't remember if it's on this floor or it might be one of the lower floors, but I do end up getting whacked, and you know, it happens. You lose a bit of time. But a thing to take note of is if you have the defense upgrade and a phantom hits you, you'll lose less time. So if you're going through the Temple of the Ocean King, I would recommend putting on that defense upgrade that we're going to be getting, I think, in 1 or 2 more videos. So it just makes things a little bit less scary, I suppose. And then you can throw this bomb here, make a little shortcut. But I'm just trying to think. I don't think there's anything that the bow really allows us to do in terms of shortcuts. I think for the most part, we do kind of have to play the floors out normally from now on. Like how we'd play them out and just going through them in general. But I believe after our next visit, that is the last time we're going to have to go through and not be able to fight the phantoms. I mean, right now, currently, with our like offense upgraded, we can hit them in the back with our sword, and that stuns them. But now that we have the bow, we can shoot them in the back, and that'll also stun them. So we have some ways currently to deal with the phantoms. Might not be super easy, because you do have to get behind them, but it's not that bad. Just gotta be careful. And really, the red phantoms aren't really anything to be too worried about. I mean, if you can handle normal phantoms, you can handle these guys just fine. So for this part, the same as normal. All we need to do, excuse me, is get those Triforce crystals going. Get all 3 of them and toss them up there. And I think this is where... Nope, this isn't where I get slashed, but it's coming up. It's very, very soon. Yep, here's the part. I get slashed. So, you don't really lose that much time, but if we have the defense thing going, we lose less time. I think it halves how much time you lose. So it's something to look into once we get there. And here you see that eye switch there. I believe that gives us a gem. Which, of course, we want all the gems we can get because we like upgrading ourselves, making ourselves better. And I think if you manage to drop the Phantom in the hole, you don't have to deal with him anymore. Now, there are some rewards for killing all Phantoms on certain floors. I don't know if you could kill both of them by luring them both into the holes somehow. You might be able to do so. I don't know if you can, if that'll give you the treasure chest for this floor. I actually don't know if there is a treasure chest on this floor or not, for getting rid of the Phantoms. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know, but I don't think so. Because we have that chest there, and that gives us a gem. But maybe. Maybe there's something you get for killing the Phantoms on this floor as well. I find it a little strange that this one chest is timed just from that arrow switch. Because the only things you need to avoid are the 2 swift Phantoms, which really aren't that big of a deal. So, I don't know why they chose to make it that way. And here's our last Force Gem. If you want to skip any of these parts, be sure to put timestamps in the description for each individual floor. Just because it'll make things a little bit faster if you already know what you're doing for these parts. Because I think we still have to end up doing this at least one more time. Although there is like a warp point that appears. I think it's after this next set of floors. Like after we use the Courage Fairy. But I'm not sure. And I'm not entirely sure what that's there for. That might be used for a shortcut. And on these floors, you do want to be careful about the little drone thingamajigs, because they do spawn on another phantom if you're caught by one. And I think if you're caught by one of the phantoms, it spawns them in as well. But for the most part, I think these floors are pretty similar to what we did in the previous Temple of the Ocean King video, so I will just leave these how they are now, and I will get back to commentating once we get down to our newest floors. Okay, so here we are now back on the 6th basement floor of the Temple of the Ocean King. And there's one thing that we can grab here quick, which is going to be a treasure map, I believe. And I think it is just for a treasure? Either treasure or a ship. I don't think this is sand. But we don't have to go through the hassle of figuring out what the designs are all going to be. We just need to get through that little smoke right there, which I think, yep, turns off just by that. And we want to draw a Triforce now, and we want to start like how the picture showed. So start from there, and then just kind of do your best to fill it out. I know that was terrible, but it still worked, so I ain't gonna complain. And there is a way to get more time. I don't remember what you draw to do so, but if you look it up, I believe you could probably find it on the Zelda Dungeon website. And I think there they tell you what you have to draw, because you can get some more time if you're struggling. I don't think it's a lot of time they give you, but it is time. And I, once again, don't know why there's skeletons down here. Like, how did they survive so long without the Phantom Hourglass? I just don't know. It don't make sense. But we can take our way all the way back to the Temple of the Ocean King, And in doing so, if we do that and come back here, we're gonna be left with the time that we have now. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do it. If you want to get something outside the temple first and then come back, you can come back to this floor. I think that is going to be the only shortcut we have here. So you can make use of it if you'd like, otherwise you can just keep on going forward. And technically, from what I've read, you can get both sea charts in this visit, although the second part, I think they intended you to be a bit more prepared for. Now, I don't know if that's in regard to having more time in your Phantom Hourglass, or if it's just game experience. I don't know, but either way, we're going to hold off on the second sea chart, just kind of play it how it's meant to be played. And once again, I don't know why there's skeletons down here. It's never made much sense to me. So, I see what they were kind of going for with these floors, but I feel like having the upgraded sword and the arrows just kind of makes the like little floor music-y thingies, sound thingies, a little stupid. Because we can just stun things that come our way. I don't know, I think it's a little strange. But it's still fun, you know? It's still fun. I love that you can just stun the phantoms and then they get dazed for a couple seconds. It is humorous to me. Also, when I was younger, I never realized they had voices for some reason, even though they have the text on screen that tells you like what they're saying. I never put two and two together for some reason. And I was a strange child, so I don't know. I don't know what was up with half the things I did when I was younger. And I think the stun timer resets every time you hit them, so if you want to, you can just keep slashing at them. And I don't know what this is for. I think once we come back in a later visit, excuse me, we might be able to make that a shortcut, but I'm not sure. I think it might have something to do with bomb shoes, because that's what those little holes are you can see on some areas in the map. But I don't know for sure if there's any shortcuts there. And for some reason that phantom in the corner was not alerted. So it leads me to believe that when... It depends on the type of phantom that sees you, maybe? So if a swift phantom sees you, the red phantoms won't see you, but then that doesn't make sense, because the normal phantom still saw me? Or alerted the swift phantom? I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't even know how that happened there. And I did fall another time, which, you know, it's alright, because it's good to show our losses. Shows us that we all make mistakes in Zelda games, and, you know, it's alright. And easy way to not take damage by those little spike things is just have your shield aimed out towards them. If you don't have a shield, I'm pretty sure you can just slash them with your sword. Still not that big of a deal. We can't do anything with the crystal switch yet, so I think that maybe something to do with either a treasure chest or a shortcut. So, a thing to take note of with these crystals, we are going to need to move them throughout the area. Hence why that little geyser thing is there, because we're going to have to move these from place to place, which is like the one tedious thing about this section of the Temple of the Ocean King. It's not super horrible, but at the same time, it's a little horrendous. But you know what? We can get through it, because we've gotten through much worse. And by much worse, I mean... I don't know. Much worse, I guess. I don't really have an example at the moment. So, we're just going to take this triangle one on over here. Follow the Swift Phantom, or you can drop this, shoot him in the back, hit him in the back, whatever you want to do. And fortunately, since we're weighted down, we can't run, which means the floor is not going to make any noise for the Swift Phantoms or the regular Phantom. So we can go on ahead and put this crystal in the slot right over there. And I am so glad there's that safe zone there, because I didn't realize there was one at first, and I was just hoping to put the triangle crystal in place. So thankfully, that was there, because if not, would have been trouble. And we got another courage gem, so we are definitely getting up there in terms of courage gems. Unfortunately, we still have a little ways to go before we get our sword beam, but that's okay, because it's just a sword beam and it's not the most exciting thing in the world. But don't worry, someday we will get there. And I don't understand what the Phantoms see happening when Link goes in these safe zones. I don't know if it's a matter of them just not being able to see, period, or how it works. And what he says is kind of ominous, because there actually is something down here with us. And that being Wizrobes. Now, these aren't the typical Wizrobes from normal Zelda games. Well, this is a normal Zelda game, but these suckers are invisible, and I think they do a hefty amount of damage if they hit you, so don't let them hit you. And they do give you some Hourglass time, which is nice. But just don't let them hit you, because we don't want to know what happens if they hit you. And I thought that was pretty cool. That little sneak kill you can do there with the Wizrobe. And I'm not sure what we do about that little eye switch there yet. Uh, I guess I figured it out here. It has been a hot minute since I filmed this, though, to be fair. And I don't know how the Phantom didn't hear the bomb go off, but heard my sword hit the wall. A little strange, but I'll allow it. And we do get something if we kill all the Wizrobes in this room, so make sure you do that. And I don't think they respawn, at least for this trip, so we don't need to worry about them again for this visit. But next visit, we will have to worry about them, which is a little unfortunate, but it's alright. Because we can get through it together. And I'm not really sure how that Phantom didn't see me there. Because it seemed like he turned around and looked at me, or just maybe somehow glanced away from me. I don't really know. And now it's just a matter of getting all those crystals down there, which is not a super big deal. Like, it doesn't take too long. But it does require a small bit of effort walking back and forth. And I think if you accidentally drop one of the crystals, all you have to do is just pick it up again, because I'm pretty sure it'll just, like, fly back up somehow by the magic of the crystals. But after we move all these crystals down there, that is actually the end for this visit in the Temple of the Ocean King. Now, like I said, you can go down to the next set of floors if you really want to. I don't think we need any dungeon items that are coming up. I mean, getting them might make it a little bit easier, but I don't think we really need any of them, based on the fact that it lets you go down further, if you'd like. So, it's up to you. If you want to continue on with the Temple of the Ocean King, you can just follow ahead in that video that I have of it, which probably isn't up yet by the time that... I don't even think I filmed it yet by the time this goes up. But someday, it'll be there. But otherwise, I would just recommend playing normally. Like, our next visits are going to be less and less tedious every time, so whatever floats your boat, really. And now it's just a matter of placing all the crystals in the platforms. And then we get ourselves our next handy dandy sea chart. Sea chart. So, I'm curious for you guys in the comments. Does anyone have a favorite section of the Temple of the Ocean King? Like, is there any particular area of this temple that you really look forward to every time? Is there any area that you really hate going to every time? Or do you just hate the entire Temple of the Ocean King in general? Or do you like the entire Temple of the Ocean King in general? I don't know, but I would love to hear what you guys think. So, leave your opinions down in the comments on how you feel about this place. But other than that, that is really all there is to. And I think he's just telling you how to get to the next section there. So here's our second to last sea chart. And we'll be able to explore our southeast section, which is pretty exciting in my opinion, because we get to encounter some new races. But other than that, that is going to pretty much do it for this video. Videos for Phantom Hourglass come out, for the most part, every other day, with Ultimate Alliance 3 being in between those. But I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.